Greetings, we're back with you. It's been a little while, but we're back for our next episode here of the AquaDog Gear Network. Today we're going to get into some pickups. So there was, at some point in the past, I can't remember what year it was, but they did release a limited edition EVH Frankenstein pickup. It was fully aged to look like the original. Also was signed by Eddie Van Halen on the backside. I did purchase one of these back in the day. I don't know, it was somewhere in the later 2000s, like 2006 to 8, somewhere in there. I think it was more like 2008 to 10. So I had purchased that just on a whim. It looked cool. I thought, well, never know, I might find a purpose for it. This guitar that I have here is a guitar that my dad and I made when I was about 12 or 13, somewhere around there. Just, again, on a whim, said to him, I want to build a guitar. And he, being somewhat of a woodworker, said, okay, well, we'll try and figure it out. We did leave the neck to Fender. We ended up using a Fender neck on it, but built the body, and I drew it somewhat in, as you can see, a bit of a Jazzmaster shape, offset shape. I've always kind of liked that shape, so especially at that time. So anyway, long story short, I put it into this guitar and it was a perfect match, seemed like. Especially at higher gain settings, it just really, they seemed to match well. I went through multiple pickup configurations. This is actually routed for 2 pickups and a switch and all of that. I had 2 pickups in it for a long time, ended up just going with the single EVH Frankenstein pickup in it just because it matched so well with it. So what I'm going to go through today is I also purchased recently, they've been on back order for quite a while, I finally got it, a EVH, the new Frankenstein pickup, not aged, it's current production. And so I've been curious, do they sound the same, or are they similar, or is there something that's a little more magical about this Relic one? So we're going to do that today. So I have my 74 Marshall 50 watt JMP head here. It's pretty much original. It wasn't, that'll be it for another story, but it wasn't original when I got it. It is basically original now. And I've got this guitar, so I'm going to use the same settings, and then we're going to basically swap out the pickup with the new EVH pickup, and then see, what does it sound like? Is it similar? Is it not? So we're going to go through that. I'm going to do a little bit of setup here, and then we're going to listen to this pickup as it sits, and then we'll swap out the pickup and go from there. Everything's set up now. What we're going to basically do is use the same amp settings, strings, same guitar, same everything, swap out the pickup at one point in a little bit here. So hopefully giving us a fairly common ground to test just the pickup itself. I guess I didn't mention much about the guitar. It's a mahogany, it's flip-flop from like a Les Paul. Mahogany on the top. Since this piece of mahogany it was a one piece, that was a really nice piece that we got for this, so we decided to leave that on top. It is maple on the back. So I don't know if it changes it much being flip-flop like that. Maybe some, probably. But anyway, and a relatively thin Fender neck, maple, rosewood fretboard. Nothing too out of the ordinary, basically. So I started off, I've got both channels. I have the channels jumpered, so we're running both channels. I've got them both set to about 2. And clean just doesn't get very clean. So as you can hear, I even turned down this low, it still is breaking up a little bit. It's pretty hot output pickup. So I'll turn the volume on the guitar down a touch just to try and clean it up a little bit, but it doesn't really have this thing isn't suited the best for clean stuff. Where it really starts to shine is when you start to crank up the gain. So I'm going to dime volume 1, volume 2. I usually run it about halfway. So we're cranked on the first channel 1. Second channel, we're at about halfway point. Pretty cool. So we're gonna swap out the pickups. I'll show you a little bit of the inside, the signature on the back of the Relic one, and then we'll check out the new version. So we'll be right back with you. Okay, so I have the Relic pickup pulled out of the guitar, and then I do have the new production Frankenstein humbucker out as well. I found the box. I kept the box for the Relic one. Has a certificate of authenticity in there. It's one of 500. I don't remember if it's numbered. I don't think it is. But anyway, so here's, you can see there's Eddie's signature, dated 09. Okay, so I was fairly close. Oh, if we can get it to focus. There we go. So, fairly cool. There are some differences in these two in construction. Let me get up here and see if we can kind of show you some of them. If we can get it to focus here. Come on. There we go. Okay, so the top one, the Relic one, is a long leg, mounting legs similar to PAF's. This is a short legs. Much like a PAF, the Relic one has a wood spacer in there. Come on now. See if we can get it to focus a little bit better here. All right, and this has a plastic spacer. This one, the Relic, has a wooden spacer, and you can really see the mounting leg difference in length for there. I don't know if that's all the differences. I didn't actually measure these, but you can see the Relic is definitely reliced out. Has a lot of wear on it, and I've actually had to repair this one. The braid actually disintegrated at one point back here where it's grounded, so I had to pull it apart and resolder that, just because it lost connection. It was no longer working. So they did a bit too good of a job on the aging on that, I'm afraid. So we're gonna drop, construction looks somewhat different really between the two. So we're gonna drop the new one into the guitar, same amp settings, same everything, and then let's see how it sounds. Okay, so I've swapped out to the new production EVH Frankenstein pickup. An astute observer will notice that I'm wearing a different t-shirt. That's because it's later in the day than I had planned. I got pulled away. So this wasn't back to back like I'd planned, but be that as it may, I still have everything set up the same as it was. So I have it set back down to both volumes at about 2. And so we'll hear what this sounds like. I'll try to play similar stuff so we can kind of compare it. Similar to the other one, doesn't clean up real well, but it seems a touch brighter, but we'll have to, once I compare it side to side, it'll be a little easier to hear. So let's crank it up here. Once again, volume 1 cranked, volume 2 at half. Sounds pretty similar. Almost seems to have a touch more clarity and a little bit tighter low end to it. Once again, we'll have to see when we put them side by side, but sounds pretty cool too. So that's it. That is the comparison of the Relic Frankenstein EVH pickup right along the new production. They're both pretty clearly They're both great pickups, especially in this setup, with this guitar, this amp. They sound great. So I don't really think you can go wrong with either one. With the money that the Relic pickups are fetching these days, I think it's definitely a viable option to go with the new one. But the old one's pretty cool too, especially since it's signed by Eddie. So I mean, you can't go wrong with that. Anyway, so that concludes this episode of the AquaDog Gear Network. I hope you enjoyed it. I do hope you'll subscribe if you enjoy this type of thing, and keep updated with new videos as we come out. I know we've been silent for a little while, but we're going to churn a few more out here coming up. So I hope you'll join us next time. Everybody take care. Bye.